Life is so busy. If you blink, you can miss something amazing. It's important to take a moment and enjoy what we have and the people around us. I'm Mo Hagan, Chief Operating Officer for CanFit Pro, and welcome to A Moment with Mo, a podcast where I will welcome some incredible guests to talk fitness and nutrition, mindset and self-empowerment, setting our goals into action, and much, much more. Now let's get chatting. Hello and welcome to A Moment with Mo. I'm your host, Mo Hagan, and it is on this show we celebrate the stories of extraordinary leaders who remind us what's possible and inspire us to always move forward with our best to improve our best. We have another great episode coming to you. On the show, I have the privilege always of speaking with exceptional leaders who are creating positive change in the world. These remarkable individuals generously share their stories, their lived experiences, insights, wisdom, and more to help us ignite passion, uncover our purpose, and inspire us all to lead our lives with greater intention. The intention or the goal of every episode is to uncover those powerful moments of wisdom, learning, growth, and inspiration that help us remember that we can become more than who we are, and often we need to be reminded of that through the inspiring stories of others. Today, my guest, we are going to together celebrate not just a moment in time, but also a movement within the fitness industry. And as we prepared for this episode, we had a really enjoyable time and a lot of giggles going down memory lane. We're actually going to take you back 30 years to talk about what has come full circle as one of the biggest evolutions, transformations, and trends in the fitness industry. And again, I mentioned 30 years ago, makes me sound older than I definitely am. But the beautiful part is this story is really personal to me and to our guests, as we've been part of that entire time and movement. Not only here in Canada with this trend that we're going to be speaking about, this fitness movement, but also what has shaped the world as one of the biggest trends remaining very strong today. It was 30 years ago in Canada when something remarkable happened that changed the industry, the fitness industry, and really helped to attract a whole new market of fitness enthusiasts to the fitness club, the fitness studio, and even with the evolution of technology online to still be one of the biggest ways that people can move together while actually going nowhere. Yes, I'm talking about a bike and I'm talking about spinning. And this experience actually celebrates its 30th year this year in Canada. And it really isn't just about riding a stationary bike. It's about a community riding together with amazing music, coached by extraordinary leaders, and of course, together helping to shape athletes out of ordinary fitness enthusiasts. And I can't think of a better person to talk about this incredible evolution in fitness that is of the indoor cycling craze than the one and only Krista Popowych. Krista and I are going to reminisce about our time together, not only with Keiser, which is a really powerful brand in the space of indoor cycling and equipment, but also the start of the original power pacing team, how we worked alongside incredible trainers and coaches that made up the inaugural Keiser team, and what continues to be strong today under Krista Popowich's direction. So let me introduce you to my guest, and then we'll bring her on screen and we'll talk about everything that you will want to know about this incredible trend. And then hopefully it'll help you think about your experience on the bike in a Keiser power pacing class or whatever spin class you take today. Krista has been in the industry for more than 30 years. I remember meeting Krista at the fitness group in Vancouver when I first caught my eyes on this incredible evolving instructor. Krista's going to remind us about that meetup and how that was the start of perhaps her journey. Krista is award-winning IDEA Fitness Instructor of the Year, 3-time CanFit Pro Canadian Fitness Presenter of the Year, the author of Partner Workouts. If you've never taken a partner workout session with Krista, you will want to learn more about that. and today is the Global Director of Group Education and co-creator of The Ride by Keiser. Krista has helped shape the next generation of instructors around the globe, and I can't think of anyone better to help us go back 30 years and come full circle to where indoor cycling is today. So let's welcome Krista Popowych.
Thank you. I was thinking as you were talking how many moments I have had with you over the years. So it's really a pleasure to be here. So thank you.
Oh, wow. My pleasure. I actually remember the day, the weather, almost what I was wearing, but I can remember the garage doors open at the fitness group in, can't remember the area in Vancouver. It's been a while. Kitsilano. Thank you.
4th Avenue. Yes.
Yes. And I came with my husband. We were meeting a mutual friend, an incredible leader herself, Sherry McMillan, back then, Sherry Kwasnicki.
Yeah.
And she introduced me to you. And I thought, oh my gosh, who is this woman? And the places she's going to go, I can just tell.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, that era of that fitness era was so exciting and so fun, and so many great Canadian presenters that came out of that time and still on the docket today, which has been really exciting.
I know.
So, yeah, I'm surprised when you say the doors open, because usually it's raining in Vancouver. But yeah, it must have been one of those beautiful.
It was one of those sunny days that'll always remain in my mind, because again, the connections we make when we, meet people for common reasons or uncommon reasons, and how also meeting someone, you just never know what doors open, literally and figuratively, but who you meet, which is actually an amazing lesson in itself, because we're going to talk about who we've met along the way and who we are introduced to that have helped to shape your career, my career, our career, and the industry. It really is amazing.
Yeah, I was, even the first time that I met you and I had the first opportunity to present at Canvas Pro, it wasn't even, we weren't at the center that we are now. It was a hotel, and it was my first opportunity. And I can remember I had 2 roommates at the time. And I think I practiced so much in the hotel room that they never wanted to stay with me again after that. But it was a success, and here we are. So,
Wow. Well, when you think hotel, I'm thinking I know which hotel you were talking about. In Toronto near the airport?
Yes. Yeah.
That is, for those that are in our generation, that's the Constellation Hotel. No longer there.
Oh.
It was a wild place for a conference and a party. But the reason I bring it up, Krista, is that's where Karen Voigt actually came. She was actually the ambassador for the Keiser program when Keiser first started. And CanFit Pro was the first place we brought Keiser cycling training to, outside of the clubs, but in a main conference scenario. And so, yeah, as you celebrate with Keiser 30 years, CanFit Pro celebrates 30 years with Keiser in our 33rd year of existence. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Great partnerships over these years.
Great partnerships. And for those that are listening, not watching, we're not that old, but we're talking about 30 years ago.
Well, it just is. The problem is it's gone by so quickly. It's just flown by. But I feel the same as I did.
Yeah. And I tell you, every time I see you, you are fitter, stronger, and more beautiful than before. So it's whatever you're doing on that bike and then some that helps us to be able to do what we do today in whatever generation and age group we're in. So good for us, right?
Right.
Exactly. All right. Well, we have lots to talk about. We have a very short time because we also have a powerful piece of news we want to share at the very end. So let's dive right in. As we take you back, we'll come forward. But as I said, I still remember how indoor cycling felt when it first arrived in Canada. Suddenly instructors weren't just leading classes. They were leveling up to become coaches of an experience. Because as we say jokingly, we're actually inspiring people to move for 30, 45, 60 minutes or longer, but go nowhere and have their butt on a saddle. And it's all about the experience we create. And, there's a lot to that. But I want to ask you, when you look back and still as you teach today, what do you think made people fall in love with indoor cycling so quickly? Because it really was a fast growing evolution and transformation. And so what made them fall in love with it so quickly, and why does it remain so popular today in all of its different formats and expressions?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, it's an activity that anybody can do. So it doesn't matter if you've are an outdoor rider, if you love to, if you rode a bike as a kid and haven't hopped on one ever since then, or have never experienced it at all, the one thing that provides that longevity of it, it's an activity that everybody can do. It's not complicated, but it's still interesting. There's a great playlist in the background. People love great music. I always say the music becomes the roadmap of the ride, and that has never changed. So we're able to really hone into that. And the experience itself, it's one of the ways that you can get a great workout, whether you do it for 30 minutes, 45, 60 minutes, you leave, you felt like you've had a great experience. And there's still that sense of community. So even though we're on our own piece of equipment, there's a community feel. People are coming in, they're, loading into the classroom. We're getting our bikes set up, we're chatting, we're getting that whole pre-stuff happening and creating that connection before we even get going. Mm-hmm. So I can remember when at first, this is a trend, this is not going to last. And look at us now. So it's still the same great experience, which is really led by a really, the technology has changed, the equipment has changed, but the experience itself, all in all, is still there.
Yeah. Well, that's the number one gem right there. You said it's something everyone can do. And the other thing I love too, as a cycling instructor, and one of the things that elevated my teaching and coaching was that it allowed us to really personalize the ride based on someone's experience or ability to use tension on the flywheel to make it as hard as they want or make it as easy as they needed to make it. And yet everybody was crossing the line and going the same place at the same time. So talking about inclusivity, right? It really did create that long before inclusivity was really a thing.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And just, the ability to, like you said, I could be on gear, whatever, 1 or gear 10, it really allowed people to create that experience that they wanted and different types of classes. So maybe someone likes to get in and they love the beat of the music. And as an instructor, maybe that's how I like to teach. So I can engage with that. Or maybe I'm someone who loves all the metrics. I want to know what my heart rate is. I want to be in the training zones. I want to work with power. Then we can create classes that are very metric based and performance based. So you have everything from, interval-based class training to performance-based to rhythm-based to combination where we're doing ride and reps and, cycling and getting off the bike and doing strength. So it provides a whole gamut of a platform that creates lots of opportunities to try and do different things as well, with a common goal at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. You make me think. I love to teach classes where it was lyrical music and people could sing along course verse, but you could also design it for the hills and the flats. But interesting, my go-to workout when I'm not in the gym, or if I'm in the gym and I have 20 minutes, is to jump on a spin bike and ride. And I can do that through an app or through the virtual and be with whoever I want to be or with no one on the screen and get an amazing workout in such a short amount of time. So that's what I love about the versatility of an indoor spin class, or just the idea of having that bike. It was the one thing I did purchase through the pandemic because it was the one thing I felt that I could do to really elevate my fitness when I didn't have a gym. So, it's just so amazing how you can become that athlete on an indoor spin bike or an indoor bike of any sort, whatever the brand is. I am going to talk about brands in a moment. Before I do, it takes us back to, I don't know your experience meeting the creator of the first indoor spin bike, but I remember mine.
Johnny G.
Johnny G.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yep. And how we all got up. I had to convince my peer executives a good life. Yeah, you want to get up at 5. You don't want to miss this. They're like, what? And boy, was it worth it. I can still remember it to this day. Oh, anyway.
It was because it was a journey. It was an experience. It had nothing to do even really with riding the bike. It was all the other pieces that came together to create that experience together.
Yep, absolutely. And one of the secrets of a great instructor is when they put on their mic belt, or in the case of indoor cycling, when they click on their cycling shoes on the pedals and clip in, you just became something other than yourself. And that's where I watched instructors just evolve in their teaching abilities. And that was so rewarding to see how we could elevate instructors when indoor cycling came along. That was one of the biggest, I think, contributions to the industry, is the diversity that we were able to create for fitness professionals. But I want to ask you, I remember some of my favorite things, but what was the one moment or a moment that you remember in those early days that really, I would say, changed how you became as an instructor, or evolved you as an instructor? Or what was that one thing you saw in other instructors that helped them evolve into the great coaches they are today?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, that aha moment, I think where it really became relevant to me is, I love going to and experience other people's classes. You always learn something new. You always take away something from that experience. And then I would go to present or teach, and I'd be like, oh, maybe I should do it this way, or I should do it. They did it that way. Should I do it? And I think the aha moment for me was, it really wasn't about trying to be somebody else. It was really about engaging on who you were as a person, in how your style is, how you like to engage. And it worked for whatever type of class you were teaching, is to have that ability to say, hey, this is me. This is what I can bring to this experience. And then I can pull everybody in, because if I'm loving what I'm doing, and I'm comfortable with what I'm doing, and I'm excited with what I'm doing, then that really ties that experience in for everyone. And, every time I go to teach, the thing with fitness is I'm just as excited about it as I was those so many years ago. It's just, there's something about it. You never leave a class feeling worse. You always feel better. You're with people that have common goals. And it's just, I feel very blessed to be able to work in an industry that allows me to give, but I also probably get more back from it than I actually give from that experience, from the people that I meet, the traveling, the teaching, the sharing knowledge, seeing people get excited, or someone will, message you and like, oh, I just took the course and I taught my first class and it was great and it went really well. And that to me makes me feel great. The ability to be able to share that is those are my ultimate ongoing aha moments.
Oh, sure. Wow. And those are actually true lessons for leadership as well. Being your authentic self, not trying to be someone you're not. Certainly expanding your skill set from what you see in other leaders, but being confident enough to bring yourself to the class as your, perfect self as it is. Yeah. Bringing your best by being focused on what skills it is, what your intentions are. And what you also said, and this is also important, not just as a great instructor, but as a leader and servant leader, is always being connected to your purpose and passion. And if it's not serving you to feel that joy every time, then maybe that's the time to reevaluate where you're at in your career. But when you are, I think instructors and fitness coaches, they have the best profession in the world, because they get to help people feel better about themselves every time they show up for work.
Yep. It gives back 110-fold. And when I do a little bit of mentoring in the kinesiology program out at the university, and I just think, I say to them, you are in the best industry. There's always something new. There's so many different things that you can do. You will have a career for the entire life, because for your entire life, because someone will always need you, or your education, or your experience, or your connection, or whatever that is within the health and fitness field. So it's a great one to be in, for sure.
Yeah, so true. And people need what we offer more and more than ever before. You can never, everyone will need healthcare and self-care, and we get to be that conduit towards self-care and healthcare. And people, people don't want to hear out how unhealthy they are. They want to actually hear how well they're doing. And that coaching model of coaching for your performance being the best it is in the moment on that day, and having no judgment, all of the things that we learn in our courses. And then what you said that really sparked why we love what we do 30 years later is this industry is constantly evolving and growing and changing, and our skills do that as well. So one thing that I applaud you for, and I thank you for, Krista, is that you're out there as an educator and lead trainer, and you're shaping the next generation of indoor cycling instructor and trainer. And that's what's so important, is the leaders actually role model what we all need to do as fit pros. And fitness enthusiasts is always work to grow our own knowledge base so that we have more choices on how we want to navigate our fitness and our health, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking back to, I think you might have been there too. It was one presenter said one time, the saying, if you love what you do, you never work a day of your life. And it was like, you love what you do, but you still work to be able to do what you're doing really, really well. So it's not like it's a cakewalk, but still put effort and time and energy into it. And it certainly comes back in spades. But
I can hear a certain person in my back of my mind by the name of Lawrence Biscontini that would often say that. I also say often when I speak about trends, how when you think of the fitness professional and the average lifespan of that career, I always say, when you're a group fitness instructor, that is the highest retention in the industry. And people go, why? And I always say the many reasons, but the one is you always get a standing ovation at the end of class. Who gets that when they go to work?
Right, exactly. And the nice thing with indoor cycling, you get someone who's never taught or never done a class, or you have someone who's been coming forever, and everybody can have a really positive experience, whether you're brand new to indoor cycling or out there on the road on your weekends. It's just, it crosses over both. So.
Oh yeah, that's so versatile. I love it. I want to ask you this question, along your journey, your evolution as with indoor cycling, from instructor to international presenter, educator, and now global director of group education and co-creator of the Ride by Keiser. How has your role evolved? Because it certainly has by title. And what are some of the moments you're most proud of?
Yeah, it has definitely evolved. When I first started with Keiser, I remember going to my very first training. I think it was at an URSA show. And it was very early on, 28 years ago, probably was the first training that I did. And how it's evolved, I think the way that, if we think about it, the bike, yes, definitely has changed, but it has gone from the ability, when we initially started to do it was all about the feel and, those things. Now we have the whole technology piece of it. So that has really, really changed. So being able to incorporate this ecosystem across the board, from a bike to an app where people can individualize and track their data, to going to a class where there's a leaderboard and there's a group interaction, to using an app and competing with someone else across, or not competing, or well, sometimes we do, with someone who's, on the other side of the world, and creating a fitness friend from somewhere else. And, so the ecosystem of it has really evolved. So for myself, that has been part of the change, is moving from not just in-person training, but also to the whole virtual piece of fitness. And we learned that pretty quickly with COVID. I think that was an experience that actually, in some ways, like you said, you bought a bike and had it at home. Well, maybe someone who wasn't comfortable going to a gym, maybe they had a bike at home, they started training at home, and they're like, oh, maybe I could do this in a different setting. So it had many benefits that way. So the change for me has really been on the tech side, on the technology, and how we use technology to create that experience in the classroom, in the studio, when we're on the bike. So we're riding, but now we have all these other tools that we can use to have that connected experience, to track data, to see how our work is benefiting in the long run, and all those types of things. So that to me has been the biggest evolution within the industry itself.
Love it. What a way to engage people on the level they like to be engaged on, and also giving edification on how effective the ride is, because now they have metrics to measure, whether they thought they needed those metrics to motivate them, but it certainly engages people in a different way, which certainly reinforces the positive behavior that we want, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And whether you like it, you can use it if you like it, or you don't
Yeah.
have to either. So it provides those options. You can hop on and ride and not look at a single number, or you can track your data on your app. And so that experience was really great. Working on the ride itself, providing virtual content was a really evolutionary change for me, which was really exciting to do, to be part of that. Bringing that to the club environment. So say you can't, some days it's hard to find instructors, or someone calls in sick, but you want that class to continue, then you could put on the Ride Studio and you have a virtual class and an option for people. And it just helps the industry, both from a managing perspective and also from a consumer user perspective as well.
Yeah, boy, there were some good silver linings that came out of a very tough time for the fitness industry. And I remember my first experience trying to figure out how to teach online. And I think I remember one of yours. We were just all muddling through together, and we're all now just like rock stars.
Let's go. Yeah. And it just provides another avenue for people, which is exciting.
Love it. All right, let's talk about this incredible human called Johnny G, and that is his name. He introduced the spinner bike in 1995 at an URSA convention that Krista and I are talking about. We were probably maybe not in the same ride, but it was the same year.
Probably, yeah. For sure.
It really did spark a movement that started in his garage. That's where he built his bike, and then, of course, picked up on the brand with the spinner bike. I'm trying to think the gentleman that invested into Johnny G. Anyways, it'll come back to me. But, again, 30 years later, we went from this incredible human, and boy, was he, I don't know, Krista, how would you describe Johnny G? Like you said, it wasn't just a ride. It was
it was a spiritual entertainment. I don't know how to say it. I don't know if those two words go together, but that's
spiritual exertainment.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, and I went back every morning, every afternoon, and it was just like, I can't believe this. And then, of course, it was like, how fast can we get this into the clubs? And, I feel very privileged. I was able to start, bring Keiser to the Good Life clubs at least. And that was 30 years ago. And I'm so glad then that the program expanded, and so did the team. And speaking of which, I want you to talk about the team that is coming to ChemFit Pro Global. This is the final official question I'm going to ask, and then we'll kind of wrap things up, because we have Places to Go, which is a conference coming up very soon called ChemFit Pro Global. I'm so excited to have you back. And this year, we have the opportunity to join Krista Popowych, who is our guest today, along with her amazing team coming in from places in the world that you might be surprised to hear. And we're going to be celebrating this incredible milestone with Keiser as they celebrate their 30th year. They will be hosting an anniversary ride on Friday, the 14th of August at 12:30 p.m. And there's a reason we're telling you about this, because this episode will get out into my community and yours, Krista. And we are part of a very large fitness professional industry who will be at ChemFit Pro this year. And if you're not, you can still register and come along. The event is open to all those who have registered for the conference. A reminder, if you are registered, download the official ChemFit Pro Global Conference and Trade Show app in wherever it is you find your apps in your favorite app store. And then when you download it, it will load the content, including this incredible special ride at 12:30. It has been carefully scheduled so that everybody can join. And we're going to create a very large class, maybe not set a Guinness World Record like we did a number of years ago, but we're going to get close. And there is an opportunity as a fitness enthusiast to also join, Krista. So I'm going to tell you about that. But Krista, I want to ask you, what does this celebration mean to you personally? What would you say to someone who's thinking about joining us for this ride? And anything else you want to add?
Okay. For me, in life, to be able to celebrate anyone or events is really, I think, very important. So we're able to celebrate that this is Keiser's 30th year with a indoor cycle. So we've gone through the evolution of our power pacing bike to the Pro, to the M3, to M3i, where it's connected. So we've gone through this evolution of indoor cycling in terms of the equipment itself. But for me, it is a celebration. It's an ability for us to give back to the community. We have 150 spots to fill up with participants in this class, and we really want everybody to come to it. We are bringing Paco Gonzalez, who is he is a world-renowned indoor cyclist. You just have to experience. What Mo is talking about, Johnny G, this is what you would experience with Paco. He has traveled. I think he's been over 60 countries, and he has trained thousands and thousands and thousands of instructors. And he will be on stage with us, and we're super excited to have him. So for us, it's just really ability to get everybody together in one space, create the excitement, create the energy. We've got some giveaways. Everybody gets a t-shirt and a towel and a water bottle and some other stuff. So, you got to always give some prizes, but really the goal is to let's have a really great experience and to celebrate 30 years of the Keiser indoor cycle.
Wow. That's what it's about, everyone. And yes, you have the opportunity to attend. So as a fitness professional, you are certainly welcome to join us at canfitpro.com. It is with a /global. Find out more about registering for the conference. You still have time, although the event is just around the corner, August 14th, 15th in Toronto. And you'll be able to sign up through the app and guarantee yourself a seat on a bike in this session. And it will sell out. I will tell you that. And then if you are not in the fitness professional, you're not in the fitness profession, you're still able to join us. You'll want to go to canfitpro.com and check out the opportunity to buy a trade show pass. And what we're going to let you know is that you go to the Keiser booth, right? You can go to the Keiser booth anytime starting Friday at 10:30 in the morning, right after the opening ceremony. Sign up. There'll be a way for you to sign up as an enthusiast and be personally escorted over to this special class 2 hours later in the special room where we celebrate Keiser in its 30th year. And so if you are listening and you know someone that is in the business, let them know about it. If you're interested as well to ride, not with Johnny G, but wow, the most incredible international cycling coach, trainer, instructor, alongside the incredible Krista Popowych, then be sure to check out more information. And then, of course, if you are excited about what you heard around this story and you want to be part of this epic momentum in fitness, check out a indoor cycling class at your studio or club starting today anywhere. We'd love to have you there because it's all about community and you can be part of that. We love inspiring the millions of Canadians to move, but also to move through cycling. It's riding together. We stay together, and together we get to change lives one pedal stroke at a time. Right, Krista?
We sure do. Yes, definitely. One pedal stroke at a time. And then we more and more and more and more.
And so more and more and more.
There we go.
It's a good addiction, right?
Exactly. So 12:30, August 14th. Everybody is welcome. You can check it out. We'll have more information also on the Keiser website. So please do that, or you can follow me on my Instagram. We'll get some information out on that. And Keiser Fitness Instagram is another great one to follow as well. So, and of course, CanFit Pro, they'll have all the information for you.
Well, thank you so much, Krista. It's been an absolute delight. I can't wait to celebrate with you. And we'll be seeing you all soon. And in the meantime, keep moving, friends. Keep pedaling and keep being the amazing human that you are. Bye for now.
Bye.